I wake up this morning and what do I see? I see another email response to your apparent, alleged drug use to become the super bodybuilder that you are. And I know that you're not. You know you're not. You've been tested by the NPC
multiple times,
year
after year,
and your last competitive deal was what,
2003 in August.
And still the debate rages on that you are this, steroid
liar,
induced,
cheater.
Yeah. So I figured that it's like 5 in the morning. Well, now 6 after we got set up, to set the record straight once and for all, and maybe go through some of these emails. I mean, literally, some of these emails are almost to the point where, and these are postings, not emails.
Yeah.
That almost slanderous.
Yeah.
If I saw this guy in the grocery store, I wouldn't look twice. Now juice up and get big. It's pretty typical.
Yeah. In fact, that one's actually nicer than a lot of them that you might see. And, I don't, again, people are entitled to their opinions, and I don't really look too much into it. I don't know this person, so I can't really comment directly. I just think it's unfortunate that people are so quick to put a limiting factor on what can be achieved and what can't be achieved, because ultimately all they're doing is hurting themselves, especially if it's someone who's aspiring to be a great natural bodybuilder. Myself, for example, before I won the first national level show, when I was working really hard to get up to that Team Universe level, I looked to people who were successful at the Team Universe level, and I wanted to learn from them because they were better than me. I didn't look at them and instantly doubt, oh, they're so much better than me, so they must be cheating. No, I looked at them and says, what are they doing that I'm not doing, because I want to be like they are. If I would have looked at those people the same way that a lot of people look at me and just doubted them, and who knows, I certainly wouldn't have went on to have the career that I had, but instead I learned from people who were better than me. So I guess, at the end of the day, people are entitled to their opinions. I just wish that they wouldn't limit themselves so much. Did you know that even in natural bodybuilding competition, competitors still juice? They just have to stop juicing before the contest so they don't get caught with it. That's a pretty popular one, and there's a lot of, I competed the main show. I won the Team Universe 3 times, my class 3 times, and the overall 1 time in 2003, and that's how I got my IFBB Pro card. And there's a lot of, you hear a lot of scuttle that, oh, the Team Universe, that's just a farce, and, the people are still taking drugs and that, and there's ways to get around it. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody who enters the show, and I wouldn't claim to do that. But, you're polygraph tested, and then the top 2 have a urinalysis test. Again, are there ways to get around it? I don't know. But, I never did, and I was tested. I won it in '99, and I won it in 2001, and then I won the overall in '03, and then I was also in it in '97 and '98. So, all these years I was polygraphed and or urinalysis tested and never failed any of them. Again, I just think it's an easy way out. I think it's an easy excuse to just blanket it and say everybody's doing it. Are there some that enter the show that are trying to cheat? Probably. I'm not going to say that. I don't know. But it's not fair. It's too easy to just blanket it and say that everybody who's doing it is. I don't know if that takes onus off the own person for their own lack of what they've done. I'm not sure. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't really know that. But I'm thankful I didn't do that, and a lot of other great natural bodybuilders didn't do that, because if I would have taken that same thing, I would have limited my own progress and my own career. And what's funny too is now here I am. Last time I was on stage was I guest posed in April of '04, and since then I've built the business and spent time in renovating the building, and now it's been 3.5 years in operation. But I still train Maxwell T, and I still, not as meticulously or not as intensely, but now that I'm getting ready for this guest posing, I still look pretty good. And I think that's a testament to, if I was on all these drugs and then I stopped taking them and I did all this, I don't know. You're never going to convince. I guess the bottom line is my job isn't really to try to convince people, because if it's in their mind and they've already believe that to be the case, and that's what they're going to believe. So my job isn't really to convince people, but it is to create an example for those that want to follow. So I try to send, I don't really care the people who want to take the negative approach and go that way. That's their prerogative, and I don't really worry about them. But for those that want to listen and follow, that's really what I feel my message is for now. And so with the DVDs I'm coming out with and with the different instructional material, that's focused for people who want to learn. And if they want to learn, information is there. And if not, you can still have your opinion and do your attacks, but I don't see the need to take it to a personal note.
All right, so here's a question for you. For guys that you've competed against in the past, that are now top pro bodybuilders, and we're talking about top, way at the top. So it would be natural to assume that if you were taking steroids to get into the competitive level that you were at, that maybe why didn't you become a Mr. Olympia competitor? I mean, if these guys were taking them, and then look how big they are now, and what happened to you?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, and I can use this as a direct example. In 1993, I competed in the Teenage Nationals in North Carolina, and people can look it up online and see who else competed in that. But also, there were other guys that year who went on to be pros and then top professionals. But you can see the difference in, for example, like their weight gain and their physique progressions over those 10 years. And I'm not condemning anybody for any choices they made. I'm just saying you can compare physiques and see the changes that they made, the amount of weight that they gained over the years. And then you look at me there, competed as a light heavyweight, took 5th at 19. 10 years later, I win the Team Universe overall, but I was still a light heavyweight. Now, granted, my physique was dramatically different, more mature, also more hardness and definition from just more years of training, but not a huge increase in body weight. And if you really look at it, you're not talking, I went from at that point competing in the light heavyweights to then being, 230 on stage. No, I still competed at 198 or weighed in under 198 for the Team Universe. So I guess what you're looking at is it's not that unrealistic to think that if someone works really, really hard for 10 years or more, their physique's going to get more, and they learn more about nutrition, and you learn more about training and more about to do things most advantageously naturally. It's not that unrealistic to think that you could improve your physique that way. So if you look back at the photos, you're not seeing a huge change in total weight gain, which I think would be more indicative of someone who was using chemical assistance.
Okay.
Part one, I just say I'm sorry that you're so limited in your scope, and I'm sorry that you're so limited in your vision, because it's going to limit you in this and probably limit you in all aspects of your life. Part two, for those that want to learn, I say, the information is there, and do like I did. You want to model yourself after someone, and this is, I think, is true in any scope of life. You want to model yourself after somebody who's been successful. Don't reinvent the wheel. Learn things that they did to help you out, to help you achieve, and that's what I did, and you always want to make sure, and I want to say this too, I want to be very clear. My whole career, I've never been on a pedestal about being natural or thought I was better than anybody, because that's just the way that I've chosen to do it. And anybody who chooses to do it other ways, that's fine, that's your choice. But just make sure that you're learning from sources that are relevant to you. If you do want to be a drug-free bodybuilder, make sure you're not taking advice from someone who isn't, because it's not going to be as relevant to you. You need to learn from somebody who is also drug-free, so the methods that you're using are most relevant to how you want to achieve. At the end of the day, you have your own personal choice to make. I made my choice, and that was to be a great bodybuilder, the greatest that I could be, but I wanted to remain drug-free and work to achieve it that way. Again, it's your own individual choice, but make sure that who you are learning from is relevant to how you want to go about doing it.